Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm just going to discuss about a sum, a single sum. So what is that sum? That sum is nothing but we are going to find our probability with the help of the Z score. So for which we are in need of normal distribution table and we should know the structure and the area of a bell curve. So by with simple understanding we can able to attend this sum. So if you are aware, these sums is being added to our syllabus while the books and the workbooks is revised recently. Okay, this is the diagram representing the bell curve, but I don't want to look into this right now because once the sum is solved you can able to understand this bell curve easily. So let us first saw our example. Okay, the given informations are mean is rupees 800, that is mean is nothing but your x bar, that is average, and your standard deviation comes to be rupees 400, that is sigma is 400. There are 4 subdivision in this problem where I have just discussed about all possibilities. So the first subdivision comes to be determine the probability of net present value under 0 or less. So this probability is nothing but the area under the curve. So to find this area we must compute our z first. So the z formula comes to be x minus x bar divided by sigma. I have to substitute all these values in this formula. Our z score comes to be negative 2. In the previous videos I've already explained, if it is a negative symbol then it will fall on the left side of your bell curve. Here is your normal distribution table. Yeah, there are 2 tables. Give more importance to this diagram above this table. The first table represents those values that are shaded towards the left side, that is the green shading area. So if you are going to find any value from this first table, then this shading would be like that. So when I come to this second table, again if I find any value regard to this table, that is it is positive Z score, then the shading will be like this. So as we go further, you can also understand the shading part. So what I required here, my requirement is negative 2. So the negative 2 comes to be 0.0228. Yes. So for Z score negative 2, from our normal distribution table, we have found that the probability is what? 0.0228. One thing to be noted here is whatever the answer you get, it is going to be less than 1, because if you remember, we have already discussed in previous videos that the area under this bell curve is going to be 1. So any probability you are going to get is going to be less than 1. So the probability in terms of percentage comes to be 2.28 percentage. That is, in order to get your net present value 0 or less, there are a chance of 2.28 percentage. So that is what they want us to understand. So let us put it in the diagram. This z is equal to 0, that is the midpoint is the highest point and it represents your mean. Okay, that is x bar. So what we are going to find? We are going to find probability correspond to the z score which is less than or equal to 0. So we know that we have found our z is equal to negative 2. So the negative 2 we already know whenever if the value is less than. So z is less than, then you're going to shade the left hand side. Okay, the shaded area that is in red color is our area which represents the net present value can be 0 or less. So in terms of percentage, it is nothing but 2.28 percentage. So yes, since z is negative, the area lies towards what? To the left side of this 0. This sum can also be computed by using positive z score. In case if you're not provided with the negative value but you're provided with positive value, but your z score comes to be of negative value, then what shall I do? Yes, you can carry on your sum with the positive value. The one thing is you have to minus the total area from that. So let us take, now I'm just having only z value with me. So for z is equal to 2, I'm just getting my value as 0.9772. I can write like this. My probability comes to be what? It comes to be 1 minus 0.9772 because the value available is for positive 2, which is 0.9772. So we already know that there is this concept that the entire area under the bell curve is 1. So by subtracting these two values, the leftover area is nothing but 0.0228, and again the probability under the two method comes to be same. But this is not the proper way of doing this. When they have been provided with a positive value, you will be taking an integration, but I'm not doing that here because it will make the sum bit complicated. So this is another way of interpreting the sum. You're just deducting that particular value from the entire value of the curve area. So there is this concept that if probability is 1, that is if p is 1, your q is going to be 1 minus p. That is what we have found here. Okay, let us move to the next subdivision where we are going to find the probability of net present value for range greater than 0. So guys, it is nothing but opposite to that of the previous subdivision. Again, you can compute your z score, x minus x bar divided by sigma. By that you will be arriving with your value, and from there you can proceed. Or else the simple way to do this is that we already know that this is the opposite to that of the previous subdivision. That is, it is less than 0. This is greater than 0. If I know the area of less than 0, then those areas that not shaded in the previous subdivision is the area that is greater than 0. That is where my NPV, when it is greater than 0, it is going to lie. So thus the probability of net present value where range is greater than 0 comes to be what? 1 minus probability of net present value being 0 or less. That is, again, this is kind of a q. Like if my probability is 1, my q is going to be 1 minus q. So 1 minus p of net present value less than or equal to 0. So we already know what is the value. So the rest area comes to be 0.9772. Again, if you see here, the value doesn't exceed 1 because the total area is always going to be 1. Okay, so 97.72% is the probability. So yeah, let us again see with the help of a diagram. This is the area. So this is kind of a logic. Okay, so if z is equal to -2, so these are the areas shaded. These are the areas where my net present value is going to be greater than 0. So in simple terms, this entire area is 1. So we already know that the red shaded area is 0.0228, and yes, we have to find the rest of this. So simply by subtracting the total area and the area shaded in red, we will be arriving with what kind of our rest of the area. So this is 2.28% and this is 97.72%. So this is the probability of getting our net present value greater than 0. So let us move on to the third subdivision where we are going to find our probability of net present value between the range of rupees 500 and rupees 900. Yeah, again I have to find my z value, but at this time, since I am having two x values, one is for 500 and another one is 900, so I have to find z score twice. So 500 minus 800 divided by 400, and z is equal to 900 minus 800 divided by 400. So my z score comes to be negative 0.75, and here my z comes to be 0.25. Okay, so that is z is greater than negative 0.75 and my z is less than 0.25. With the help of this diagram, again we can able to understand that the area we have to find is that area which is in green. Our 0.25 is nothing but 0.5987, and again 0.75 comes to be, that is negative value comes to be 0.226. So after finding this with the help of the total area, it is with the help of these lines like I'm doing, right? So this is the value till 0.25, the value comes to be 0.5987. Why I just wrote from towards the left hand side? Because z is less than 0.25. This is the entire area. So actually this curve is the final curve. If you are out to put the shading, there are three curves you should be putting. Like first you should be shading for 0.25, this entire yellow line to be shaded from the starting of this yellow line to the end of this yellow line. Similarly, when you have been shading for z is equal to minus 0.75, you have to shade this line, that is this blue line. So yeah, the area that to be found is nothing but the area in the green. That is, by subtracting these two, we will be arriving with what? Our answer. So yeah, I'm just writing it again here. So finally I'm just arrived with the percentage of getting net present value between the range. It is nothing but 37%. So finally we were moving to the last subdivision, the probability of net present value between range 300 and 600. Again you are going to find your z score, substitute the values in the formula, you will be arriving with the negative 1.25 and negative 0.5. 1.50. So the both the values are negative. So again we will be going move on to the normal distribution table. With that we can able to find our probability. So since my z score is negative, what happens is both the z values going to lie on the left hand side. So now I'm just finding my corresponding values. So that is, this is the value for negative 1.25, that is 0.1056, and when it comes for negative 0.5 it comes to be 0.3085. So this is the value. So the value I am in need of is the range between 300 and 600. So this is the area I am in need of. So by subtracting 0.3085 minus 0.1056, I will be arriving with my value, that is 20.29. So this area is nothing but 0.2029. You cannot say 20.29 only in terms of percentage. You can say as 20.29 because we already know the area under the curve comes to be 1. Yeah, I'm just doing the same step here. So by this I will be arriving with my area where the range is between 300 and 600. So in terms of percentage it comes to be 20.29%. There is a chance of 20.29% to get your NPV between 300 and 600. So that is what the interpretation here. So if you again come back to the first slide, now you can able to understand the concept better. So this x bar is your mean where your z score is equal by 0. So whenever your z score is positive, then that z score is going to lie on the right hand side. So whenever your z score is a negative, then it is going to lie on the left hand side. So the entire area under the curve is always going to be 1. Therefore you cannot get an answer greater than 1. So the area between negative sigma to 1 sigma is 68%. So the area covered between negative 2 sigma to positive 2 sigma is 96%. So the area between negative 3 sigma to 3 sigma is 99%. So if you see beyond 3 sigma, there is very negligible value that can be lie away from your mean. I hope they will provide you with the z score. If they are provided with the z score, this sum is very simple. The one thing you have to kept in mind is the formula of the z score. From that you can easily carry on. Yes, by this I'm just wrapping up today's video.